Starting a conversation with just about anybody can be tricky. Doing small talk is tricky. Not just with random people, but even relatives we know but we're meeting after a long time, or friends of friends we've met at parties, or bosses who've flown down for an office or work event. The reason we feel so tongue-tied and fearful to talk is because we feel we will end up saying something silly or irrelevant, or the other person is not going to respond to us warmly and we will end up feeling rejected. So the first thing to do is to get rid of this mindset. Treat every situation like a casino slot machine. Assume that you're not going to win the jackpot. You're here to gamble and play for fun. And now I'm going to tell you one of the easiest ways to pull off a small talk and start a conversation with just about anyone. It's called the slingshot method. And just like a slingshot and its operation, it has got 3 steps. So you break your conversation or small talk in 3 steps. If you've ever played with a sling, you know that the first step is to hold it static in the right position. You do the same for your conversation. You stay in the present and you observe. And you say something about the present. The second part is to pull the sling backwards. And so even in your conversation, you go a little back in time and ask about things from the recent past. The third part of the slingshot is to let the projectile go forward. So you do the same with your conversation. You move a little forward and ask something about the future. And that is the 3-step slingshot method. If you enjoy content like this, then do like and subscribe. And now let me demonstrate how it actually works in a real conversation. The first step of the slingshot is to be static and just focus on the target and observe. Because remember, 50% of communication is actually observation. The more you observe, the better you communicate. And same for this first step of slingshot method, where you simply stay static, stay in present and observe. Look around the room. What do you see? Something about the food, the decor, the people present, something even about the lighting. It can be the music. Doesn't always have to be a compliment about what the other person is wearing. But if you stay in the present and observe, you will find something to comment about that the other person in front of you can also share. It's almost like playing that road trip game. Remember? Do you see what I see? It's almost like playing that game, except you're in a closed environment. And before I move on to the step number 2 of the slingshot method, you might want to like and subscribe to this channel. So here's the step 2 of the slingshot method of opening a conversation with just about anyone and doing masterful small talk. Just like a sling has to be pulled a little back in the second step of a slingshot, same goes for the conversation. You pull your conversation a little back, go a little into the past, not a lot. It could be just the commute to the place you're in right now. So when did you land in the city? Did you have a hard time getting transport? Did you have a hard time finding the place? Or how do you know the host? These are all conversations that takes you a little back in the past, but not too much. If you're at a work event, you can ask the other person how long they've been associated with that brand. You can ask who they came here with, if they've come here directly from work. So any action or activity that leads up to this event is completely fine to go with. And if that goes well, you can do some follow-up questions. Like if the person says, oh, we knew each other from college, then you automatically get your second question. Oh, which college was that? Or what subjects did you study in college? Or which city was that? You may not ask the year because some people are not comfortable with the age. But other than that, you can dig a little deeper if the person seems open to the conversation and having small talk. You might want to like this video and subscribe to this channel. So the third and final step of the slingshot method of mastering small talk and opening conversations with just about anyone is to think of the third step of the slingshot, which is to let the projectile go and let it move forward. You do the same with your conversation. After saying something about the present and the past, you get the momentum to walk into the future. Maybe not too much into the future, but you can ask them what they're doing after the event. You can ask them how long they're planning to stay. You can ask them how long they're in the city. You can ask them what they're doing for the weekend. And a classic go-to is to talk about the upcoming holidays and celebrations and what plans they have for that. In fact, any big event that is happening in the city after this particular event is also a great topic to have. So if there's a big game coming up, a big match, or maybe a big concert that is about to happen in the city, you can talk about that. But if it's an election that is coming up, I don't know, that's a tricky area and you have to take a judgment call. And that is how you wrap up the third part of the slingshot method of starting a conversation and having small talk. I hope this really helped. Now, if you want to practice this, I will give you an exercise. Recently, the Met Gala 2026 happened. Imagine somebody gave you an all-access pass and put you in the Met Gala 2026. And now, suddenly, you are surrounded by celebrities, journalists, and designers. What are you going to do? Are you going to stand there like a plant for the rest of the evening? Or are you going to start some conversations and interact with people and maybe walk away with some great contacts by the end of the night? I'm giving you 15 minutes to role play this and actually start a conversation with anybody at the Met Gala. Let me know how that went. Like and subscribe to this channel so I can see you in the next video.